Okay, let's get started. Okay folks, we had this is part 2 of the same paper. We got it's the June 2012 paper, Edexcel 1 MAO. Okay, it's the second paper. Alright, now this is part 2. Starts from here, question number 15. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, that was the end of the first video. Right, welcome back. Henry's thinking about having a water meter. These are the two ways he can pay for the water he uses. One is using a water meter with a £28.20 fixed charge plus a charge per cubic meter. The other technique is no water meter and a charge of £107 per year. Well, that one there's nothing really to work out there. That's what he's given. Because Henry uses an average of 180 litres of water each day. So let's have a look. 180 litres. How many days do we have in a week? 365 days in a 365 days in a week. Okay, 6 days in a year. Okay, so he's using 180 litres per day. We have 365 days in each year. So let's work out total quickly on the calculator. Come on, Isa, give me the answer for this. So 180 litres times by 365 days a year will give us a total of
65700.
65700. That's litres, yeah? Okay, that's how many litres he's using per annum. Okay, now we need to work out. Okay, we need to convert those litres into cubic meters. Okay, so now we need to get this number here and we have to divide it by 1000. Okay. Right. If we divide it by 1000, what do we get? Quickly.
65.7.
65.7. And that will give us what? Cubic meters. Right, now, what is the charge per cubic meter? The charge per cubic meter is 91.22 pence. So we need to get that value there now. So 65.7 times by 91.22. Now remember, this is the unit charge in pence, isn't it? In pence. If you want to change into pounds, you have to divide the answer by 100 to convert the answer into pounds. So can you do the calculation for me now, please? 65.7 times by 91.22 and then divided by 100. Okay, question number 15. Come on, Isa, give me some solutions, please. Okay.
I got 59.93154.
Okay, what do you guess, Mia?
59.93154.
So we had 65.7 meters cubed. We times that by 91.22 and then we're going to divide it by 100 and that gives an answer of
59.93154.
Okay. What's the answer, Mia? 59
pounds 93154.
93154. Okay, let's just say it's £59 and 93. Okay, and then what are we going to add to that? The fixed charge. So that's how much the water cost. That is the fixed charge. Can you add them up for me, please? So you have 59, that plus the £28.20, and that will give you a total of
£88.13.
So the total there is £88.13, and so we've worked out how much the water cost us and how much the yearly charge is. That gives a total charge of £88.13. So which one is cheaper? The one with the water meter, the one with the no water meter? Which is our conclusion, Isa? So which one is the cheapest way? The first way, the one we just calculated, or the second way? The first way. So we should get a So Henry, what should he have? Should he have, the answer is Yes. Water meter, please. Okay. Right. Have you got that down first of all, folks? Yeah? Can we rub that off and go on to the next page? Yeah?
Yeah.
So remember, the star next to it, that's going to be our functional skills question. Isa, we got all that down?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, next question. Let's double check. We got that all in focus. It's looking beautiful. Alright. So here we have a right angle triangle, question number 16. We've got to work out the angle here in this right angle triangle. Right angle triangle, straight away you should be thinking about trigonometry, Sokotowa, because we've got to work out the angle. Right, let's write this down. Okay, what I would like to do first of all, what do we do with the diagram always? Isa, we always have to label the diagram. So the side which is opposite the angle is called the side which is opposite the angle is called the opposite. Okay? Yeah? So this is called the opposite side, the O. Now, the side which is opposite the right angle, that is always called the hypotenuse, which we label as H. So that leaves us one side that hasn't been labelled. What do we call that side?
Adjacent.
The adjacent, which we're going to label as A. Now, if we look in this particular question, the information that we have is A and H. Now, what sound does the A and the H make?
Cat.
The A and the H makes ka sound.
Ah.
Ah. Okay, the A and the H makes an ah sound. And the ah sound is in cos, because cos is ka. Okay? So we know the A, we know the H, we just don't know the actual angle. So we use the cos identity. Now, when we use the cos identity, we need to cover up the thing that we're looking for, what we need. So we use, so I don't say use your thumb. So if you use your thumb on the C, what's left behind? So the cos of the angle, if you cover up the thumb, cover up the cos, it leaves you behind with A divided by?
H.
A divided by H. Okay, now, do we want to work out the angle or cos of the angle? We want to work out the angle. So what do we do with the cos part?
Take to the other side.
Take the other side. Now cos is a function, so the opposite of cos is?
Cos inverse.
Inverse cos. Okay, now we are ready to substitute our values, okay? Okay, Isa?
Yeah.
So theta equals cos minus 1 A over H. Okay, right, let's have a look. What's my A value? My A value is 6.4. My H value is 9.6. Okay, to get the cos minus 1 function, what do? We have to get shift cos. So Samir, what do you get for that one?
I got 48.1896851.
Okay, wow.
So 48.189.
Right, 48.189. Okay, the question says here, Isa, that they want us to give the question to what? How many decimal places?
1.
1 decimal place. If you put this down as your answer, you'll get it wrong. You lose a mark here because I've got 3 decimal places. I haven't finished it. So the final answer is going to be, put it here. So theta is equal to, put the answer down here. 48.2. So the answer should be 48.2. Okay, that is lovely. We are now ready to move on to the next question. Samia, can you move us up onto the next question, please? Is it got the line? Okay. Right, Liam invests £6,200 for 3 years in a savings account. He gets 2.5% per annum compound interest. Compound interest has a different type of formula. How much money will Liam have in his savings account at the end of 3 years? Okay, first of all, we start with our principal amount, 6,200. That's our principal. Okay, now, if something is going up by 2.5%, let's have a look. 2.5%. So we first of all will start with 100%. That's the original value, which is that. We can add on to it 2.5%. Isa, what will that give us? 102.5. Okay, now, if you want to change that into a decimal, 102.5%, what do we do? To change a percentage into decimal, we divide it by 100. That gives you, there's our multiplier. So the principal there's your principal amount. That will work for 1 year. So the 1 year will tell you that you increase your money by the original amount plus the extra bit, which is 2.5%. That's what the 2.5% means now. It says that it's done it for how many years? 3 years. So we're going to do this. We're going to get 6,200 times it by the 2.5% increase, and we can do that 3 times again. So times it by this, and then again by that, and then again. And the easy way of doing that is cube it. We're not multiplying it by 3, we're cubing because we're multiplying it by the same number again and again and again. Right. Just for a moment. So this will be your answer for this. Can you give me an answer, please, Mia?
667.72.
Is that it?
1875.
Okay. Right. Are we happy to say the answer will be £6,676.72? Yes. 667. Okay. Why have I stopped the question at 2 decimal places?
Because it's pence.
Because it's pence. Okay. Lovely. Okay, Smia, are we ready? Are we ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. Get that answer, Smia?
Yeah.
Okay, is it nice and big? No, that's lovely, nice and big. Okay, the diagram shows the quadrilateral ABCD. ABCD. Quadrilateral means 4-sided shape. It's given us some measurements on there. As we can see here, we've got the right angle triangle, another right angle triangle. So right angle triangles indicate one of 2 things. We're going to use Pythagoras theorem or trigonometry or both in this question. Okay? Because the right angle triangle, that's where we focus on those 2 particular parts of mathematics. Now it goes calculate the length of CD. Well, CD is going to be this length over here. So we got to work out CD. Now, in this right angle triangle, what do we know? The top one. In this right angle triangle over here, we only know the angle and we don't know anything else. In order for us to use trigonometry, we're going to have 2 items that we know and 1 that we don't know. So at the moment we don't know lots of things. We just know 1 item. We need to work out, what should we work out, Isa?
That one.
That length there. If we work out BD, if you have a length and an angle, we can then work out another length. Okay, 2 ticks and a cross technique. So let's see if we can work this side out first. Now I'm gonna look at this smaller triangle here. This smaller triangle here, I'm gonna take this off here. We have our hypotenuse, because opposite right angles is hypotenuse. Now let's look at Pythagoras theorem. This is the Pythagoras theorem, comes in lots of different guises. It comes in like this: a squared is equal to b squared and c squared. It comes in a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. Comes in different variations depending on who teaches you, which book they're using in school. I have my own version. Okay, so let's look at the way I would explain it to you. The hypotenuse squared is equal to, okay, we have b squared plus c squared. Because whatever you have out here must be the hypotenuse. So our hypotenuse is 16. So 16 squared is equal to the other two. B and C are the other two lengths in any order, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to call this one here B and call this one here little c for my triangle. Okay, I'm going to ignore this here and this here. Okay, so we have our triangle here. I'm going to go over it. Okay, so what is the value of B, Isa? The value of B is 12. And the value of C is what we need. Let's call that C. Okay, now we have to work out C. We know this, we know this, so we need to get this part here. Opposite of adding this onto that is to minus it. So 16 squared minus 12 squared is equal to C squared. We're getting closer. Isa, do we need the squared on the C?
No.
No. So we grab the square, we take the squared over, the square becomes a square root. Just make sure that's actually in the video. We're not missing any parts off. Okay. That becomes a square root. Okay. Now, let's work it out now. Let's just write it out one more time on the bottom, make it nice and clear. Okay, Mr. Isa, have you worked that out on your calculator?
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to give you a moment to work that out, please, folks. Okay, done?
Yeah.
Right. What do you get, Isa?
10.583000524.
Okay, we get 10.580.
It's 10.583.
Okay, 10.583. Now, it says give your answer correct to three significant figures. Let's write down here 10.583. Remember what we said before, your first significant figure is your first non-zero digit, which is 1, second, third. So we have to stop here. This we call this the last digit. This one here, we call this one the decider. Okay, now the decider, if it's 5 or more, we add 1. And in this case, that's 8. Add 1. 10.6. 10.6 centimeters is C. Are we happy with that, folks? We got 10.6 centimeters for the first part. Yeah. Right. Now at the moment, it goes to calculate the length of CD. I think what we've done here, we've rounded this value to 3 significance. That's not the answer yet. Okay, let's go back one step. 10.583 is just our first part calculation. We have to round off the last value, okay, by 3 significant figures. So what we've done here, the rounding part that we've done here, some students, when each time they get a number, a value, they start rounding it off. Don't round it off. So what we've just done here, the rounding part, that's an example of when you can start truncate that number. When you're going to feed this number back into the next part of the question, we're going to start getting rounding errors. So let's keep this number as pure as possible. So that rounding part there is an example of what not to do at this stage. Let's now move on to the second part of the question, which is working out the length BC. Okay, so we've got to work out this length over here now. Let's have a look at the triangle. So we've got 40 degrees over here. This length here we just worked out to be 10.583 something. Okay, now are we now in a situation where we can work out this length? We need to work out this length here, C and D. So we have here a right angle triangle. We know one angle, we know one length, so we know two items, and we've got to work out this length over here. So the first thing that we do in this triangle, we need to label it up. So opposite the angle is the opposite. Opposite the right angle is the hypotenuse. Okay? Right. Okay. Right. So in this question here, we know the opposite. We don't know the hypotenuse, but we do know the angle. Right, let's look at our SOHCAHTOA again. So if we have a question, we're working with O and H. You have to think about ourselves. O and H. O. So which one do you go for? SOHCAHTOA? Which one do you go for? SOH. If you got an OH sound, we'll be using SOH of the SOHCAHTOA. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so we will be using the sign. Okay, the sign. Now, what do we know? Let's have a look. We know the opposite ticket, we know the angle ticket, and we don't know the hypotenuse cosec. So cover this up with our finger. That's our finger covering over here. So the H will then give us an answer. So the hypotenuse will give us opposite divided by the sine of the angle. So cover up with the thumb. Hypotenuse equals O divided by S. The angle. So the opposite is equal to what? 10 point. Okay, and then we have to do divided by the sine of 40. Okay, and that gives you the H, which is equal to CD. Okay, let's put that into calculators, please, folks. 10.583 divided by sine 40. And that will give us an answer of
16.464.
16.464. This is the number here that we need to round to three significant figures, not the first value you had. That was part way through the question. Okay? So that part there was showing you if we did that, then you would start rounding of numbers. Most students do. They round off each number. Don't round off each number. Try to use the pure values all the way through. You round off just off this answer here. So if you round this one off to three significant figures, first, second, third significant figure, that's the last digit. That one is your decider. It's 5 or more, add 1. So that'll give you an answer of 16.5 centimeters is equal to CD. Got that? Finished?
Yeah,
okay.
I'll write it there.
Yeah. Copy all that down. Done. Don't forget to write down centimeters though. Excellent.
Yeah, it's ready.
It's already there.
Right there. Okay. Okay. I can't see that one more than one. Alright, let's move, folks. Okay, number 19. I think we're going to do 1 or 2 more questions. How many questions are left on the paper?
We've got 1, 2, 3.
Okay, a few questions.
8 questions left.
Okay, I think we're gonna do this question and we're gonna have a break, and then we're gonna come back in the video number 3 to do the next part. Okay, p squared is equal to x minus y divided by xy. Find the value of p. Okay, so in this calculation here, if you want to work out the value of p, first of all we're going to take the square and take that over. Opposite squaring is, so p will then be equal to x minus y divided by x times by y and square rooted. Now this is why we're going to be careful in your calculator. So in the calculator you're going to put in, use the fractions button first, 8.5 times by 10 to the 9 minus the y value, and then we divide it by xy again. So the x value will be okay. You need to enter this into your calculators. Right. First we use the fraction button in the calculator, then enter this and use replay code bottom and then square root it. Right, come on. Let's see what you get. I'm going to try as well. Square root, fraction button, 8.5, 10 to the 9, take away 4, xp, 8, 8.5, 10 to the 9.
I'll get 0.
Okay. You shouldn't get 0. Yeah, you gotta put brackets there, because it'll confuse the time bar for something else.
I got 0 as well.
Yeah. Okay, folks. Now, in the calculator, when you put the calculation in, you gotta put brackets here to separate them two. Otherwise, you'll get 0. Now try it. Go back and try with the brackets. You should get. Answer that was what? My answer here is 4.880935. Okay, and it goes give you answer to 2 significant figures, first, second. So that's 5 and more, you add 1. So the answer should be 4.9 times by 10 to the power of minus 5. Are you happy with that? Yes, sir. Have you got a better answer now that you put brackets in there? The calculator will get confused the time by 4 and with the index. Done? You got the answer? Okay. Well done to me, you got the answer. That's lovely. Okay. You got the answer?
Yeah, 0.
So you're getting 0, 0. Okay, Mr. Isa's getting where's the calculation? Why is it up in here? Oh, why is it floating? See, you like you got an index there.
I'm supposed to press it twice. That's
So Bring it back down. Okay, try that again. Okay, I'm going to move the question. Smell, what's question number 20? Okay, we're going to stop at question number 20, so that's going to be the last one. I think everybody has had enough. Question number 20, well done, Samia. It says, make T the subject of the formula. Now, if you look at this question here, to realise we have a T here and a T there. It's still a linear equation. We've got T's on both sides. What we need to do first of all is to release each of this T from the brackets and then get the T's on one side, factorise it and then solve it. So, first of all, let's release the T. So 2 times by D is 2D. 2 times by minus T is minus 2T. And the 4T plus 7 stay the same. Now if you look again, now that the T has been released, we have a T value here and one here. We always move the smaller T value towards the larger one. So I'm going to grab the minus 2T from here, which is smaller than 4T. Go that way. And then we're going to get the plus 7 value from the right hand side and move it towards this way. So that way we'll get all the T's on one side. So we have now 4T plus 2T. We have now here 2D minus 7. Okay. If we've got here now 4T add 2T, that will give us a total of, Samia? 6T. Now, yeah, and the opposite of time by 6 lots of T is 2. So that's one way. That's the traditional way. I'm going to do it the way I've been doing it so far. Opposite time by 6 is? Divide by 6. Okay, and that's question number 20. Now that is going to be the end of video 2. Okay, please join us again inshallah for video 3 where we will finish off the last questions. Okay, and until that time inshallah, see you then. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, so yeah. Right.